I don't know what's in your bottom.
Okay, there's nothing, there's no...
Then take your hands out of your bottom. No, I don't know what's in the bottom of it. You could be
Sir, you're being a tyrant.
I'm a public servant. I can be filmed.
What's that?
Are you a public servant? Do you work for the state?
Auditors have become a necessity these days. They keep our police and even government officials in check. They expose corruption and crimes that are happening in the system. And no one does it better than Sean. For the first case, Sean visits the Clayton Government Center in New York, where he would come across some big tyrants.
I'm sorry?
You're not supposed to be filming in here.
Who are you?
I work here. You're not supposed to be
You work
filming
here?
in here. Yeah.
Why can't I film in
Because
here?
you're not allowed to.
But why would that be? This is public area.
You're not allowed to film. You're not allowed to be filming in here.
This is a public area. Can I ask you why?
Because it's a government building and you cannot turn the camera off.
This is not a... I mean,
Turn
you
it
started
off.
talking to me, ma'am. I'm just minding my business I'm a journalist. If you'd asked me what I'm doing here...
Then take the camera off of me now.
I'm a journalist,
I
ma'am.
appreciate it if you would erase that because you had me on camera and I don't want to be
Because
on
you guys are coming up to the camera. I'm minding my own business. I'm not trying to cause any trouble.
Yes, you are. You're
No, I'm not. I'm recording. I'm recording these.
That there's no recording. I will
Okay.
I will be calling this.
Call the police then, ma'am. Call the police.
Stick around. PD are on the way.
Stick around now?
Yep.
Oh.
PD is on the way.
I'm not breaking any laws, ma'am.
Yes, you are.
What law is that, ma'am?
The police will inform you of the laws.
Okay. There is no law against filming in a public area, ma'am.
Not film in the government center.
It's called freedom of press, ma'am. Have you ever heard of it before?
Have you ever heard of I don't want my face on your stupid Facebook?
So why would you want to put your face on the camera? That's...
Because you're following us around.
I'm not. You're following me. You're following me, ma'am. You're following
You
me.
here to this PD conference.
You're keeping me here to the PD com. You don't have to do that. I'll stay. I'm not breaking any laws. What law is it recording in public, ma'am? What law is that?
I did call the cops.
Call the cops for what?
Right out of the gate, we come across a Karen with her typical short hair and know-it-all attitude. She immediately calls the cops on Sean and continues to justify her unlawful actions.
Well, every single one of us is pressing charges, so
Pressing charges for what?
filming against our consent.
Ma'am, there's cameras in this building. You're filming me without my consent. What's the difference? Yeah, that
Hello?
it
You
doesn't
might
mean
wanna look up
anything.
laws. I'm
See-
not arguing with stupidity.
You're not arguing with stupidity. See, you're being rude now. You're saying you're not arguing with
I am
stupidity.
being rude because I've asked you once.
Look at that camera.
I've
There's a
asked you
camera right
twice,
here to not record. Yeah, you told me not to record, right?
And you have been.
That's what you keep
Did
telling
not
me.
listen.
Okay. There is no law against recording. I wasn't even recording you or your staff.
City PD's on the way.
How you doing today, sir?
What you doing, buddy?
How you doing? I'm an independent journalist. I'm gathering content for a story in this public building.
Some kind of a credential?
I'm sure I could produce credentials, but nobody's asked me for any. And
I just did.
okay,
Please.
well, I don't at this time. This woman here, she's being hostile with me, and
Okay.
she called the police.
All right.
So I'd rather just
Well, they'll be
deal with
coming.
them.
I'm not being hostile. I'm the superintendent. This is my building.
Okay, great.
And,
And your name,
a bit
sir?
of a bit of a freakus here, so.
No, sir. Can I get your
Just
name?
Talk to you and see what you got.
Okay, can I get your name, sir?
No, because you don't need to be running the camera in here without showing me the credential.
Sir, you're the superintendent. Sir, can we have a conversation? So you're the superintendent here. There is no law against filming in public. The same way you have cameras in this building, I'm here to conduct lawful business
Okay.
and exercise my constitutional right of freedom of press. Excuse me. And exercise. Go ahead.
The police finally arrive and the government employees rush to drown them with their lies. Let's see how the cops handle Sean.
Protected activity.
I'm a public servant. I can be filmed.
What's that?
Are you a public servant? Do you work for the
I
state?
work for the DMV. We cannot have. He was taping private information in
That's
it.
not true.
Taking tests.
That's not true. It's public.
If he's interrupting
Okay.
procedures that are taking place,
You do have to leave if you do interrupt them.
I'm not interrupting anything, sir. She knows that. She like she just told you, and like the superintendent told you. The only reason why they called you is because I'm filming in public, and what you seem to know is a constitutionally protected activity.
This is a public building.
Exactly. So that's why they're upset. I'm here to do lawful business. I'm not getting anybody's way. I'm staying in the outskirts of everything. I'm not putting my camera in anybody's face. She came up to me. She came up to me saying, "What are you doing? You can't record." As I'm filming just documents here. I'm a journalist. I disseminate this information to the public.
Okay.
That's all I'm doing here.
All right. Can we just get your name for the recorder saying that you were here filming and that's it?
Oh, I'm not gonna, unless I'm breaking the law, I don't give any type of identification, sir. I don't, I'm not breaking any laws, so I'd rather not.
Okay.
Ma'am, you came up to me. So they all came up to me, and it's all proven. I'm not here to start any problem. No, I'm in a publicly accessible area. Just like if they say I can't put my camera this way, that doesn't really make any sense, because if I can see it, I can record it. You know, if you have a photographic memory or something, I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm not going in any restricted areas or anything like that. I want to get documentation of the building, as far as video documentation of the building, as well as do some.
There are certain floors that do have security that you will be.
Sure, like a courthouse or something like that. Yeah, for sure. No.
Just to let you know.
No.
Just to let you know, I play the DA's office. That's also got.
Of course.
So.
No, I'm not going to go into restricted areas. I'm in common areas.
No, I'm just telling you that.
Oh, okay. Okay. No, thanks. I appreciate it. Can I just get your name?
You don't want to provide me with your name.
I understand, but just for my records, just because you're the public servant.
I'll tell you what, you give me your name and I'll give you my name.
Oh, that's not fair. You're the public servant. You said it yourself.
That's true, but it's called respect. Respect, you know what I mean?
Oh, my first name is Sean. I'll tell you
my first name's Josh.
Josh? Okay.
There you go.
And can I get your badge number, Josh? And that's it.
Well, can I get your full info?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Come on. Can I get your name and badge number, sir?
Sounds good.
My name is Shane. I'll tell
If
you
he
that.
does interrupt
Shane.
commerce, okay, that's
Right on my
that's something wrong.
Do you mind if I just get it on camera? Okay. Okay, thank you.
The cameras. Oh, I'm not being recorded.
That's not because ma'am, be careful, because if you lie.
Josh, the responding officer, was partially good and receptive to the law, although he did behave in a petty manner when Sean asked him his badge number. It's an officer's policy to tell you that when they are asked. But so far, he didn't argue with him about not filming.
That's against the law.
Okay.
That's against.
This woman doesn't. You don't have to give her grief. She just doesn't want to be filmed.
Sir, she came up to me. I was imagine this. I'm recording posters and signs and disseminating and talking about it.
No, you're not. I just meant for somebody else.
Just imagine. Could we just be reasonable for a second? If I'm over here recording this sign right here, this picture and everything, and you come up to me and you say, "Hey, you can't record in here," and I turn my camera to you, is that my fault? No, I'm not bothering anybody. That's not my intent. My intent is not to bother anybody. My intent is just I've never been to this city hall. I'm sure a lot of my viewers haven't been to this city hall, and we're just taking a look around for transparency and accountability purposes. That's all.
I'm just curious. Who did you say it was for again?
It's for my company.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm an independent journalist.
Oh.
I'm an independent journalist, yeah. All I'm doing is freedom of press activity. That's it.
Okay.
I'm not trying to start anything. The same way I've been treating you guys and talking to you is the same way I've been talking the whole time to this woman, and if she doesn't want to be on camera, that's fine. I won't put her on camera. It's not that big of a deal, but when you keep walking up to the camera, and then when I went to go handle my business, she's like, "Don't go anywhere, the police are coming, I'm pressing charges." I said, "For what?" She said, "It's a state law that you can't record." It's actually a state law that you can record government officials in there. New York State passed the law where you can record law enforcement and public servants.
Oh yeah. I'm just when we come to these things, we don't know.
You don't know exactly. You just come.
I'm just
You,
here
would
to
you
make
mind?
sure everybody's safe. Everything's.
Would you mind giving me the call number so I can look
I
up all?
don't have that. I don't have that right now.
You don't?
No. You
Okay.
have to.
I would have to go down to the precinct and get
I
it.
don't know it right now. I think they tell me to go places, and I go, and that's where I'm at right now.
Okay. All right.
You know?
All right.
Yeah, you have to go to the police station.
The police station? All right, that's no problem. I'll head there before I get out of here. Excuse me, sir. And this is why I film, because look, they're in there lying. They're in there lying. I didn't do anything wrong.
So you said you've never been to the city before. Well,
Okay. All right.
just because they're making some allegations against you.
All right. I mean, but before you execute a warrantless arrest, I'm willing to show you the video to show you I didn't harass anybody or do anything of that nature, just so you know.
Did anybody say anything about an arrest? I'm asking you to hang out with me.
Well, being detained, officer, is a de facto arrest.
Well,
You know that.
in a way,
It's a de facto arrest because you're taking away my liberty to move, freedom of movement.
you're not incorrect, but I'm just asking that you bear with me here for a few minutes, all right?
Yeah, I understand you're detaining me. That's fine. So make sure to get the time. 12:30.
So with the increase in gas prices,
Just understand that if you cause an issue in there that
Yeah, I would never do that.
don't disrupt their
Would never.
business or something like that, then
Would never do that.
potentially could get banned if you do.
Okay, I would never do that.
All right.
Yep, and you too. You like the unnecessary directives at the end? Oh, man.
Sean hung out at the government center for a while and then headed out. It's a good thing he made his point clear to our Karen. These officers weren't hostile, but the next ones were up in Sean's face. Sean visited the probation department in Newcastle, Delaware to record in public areas, but that was very short-lived.
You can't record on DLC property, you have to step outside.
Excuse me, sir?
You cannot record on DLC property, you have to step outside.
Who are you, sir?
Officer Powell.
Officer Powell.
So that's you to step outside.
And what law would that be?
DLC private property, you cannot record.
This is private property?
It's
Who
DLC
owns it?
property.
Who owns the property, sir?
Sir, you have to leave.
This isn't private property, sir.
Sir, you have to leave.
This is public property, sir.
So you have to leave.
So this is public
You cannot
property.
record on state property, DLC property. That's the
What
thing.
law is that?
It's not a law, it's a policy. You cannot record.
It's a policy.
Yes, sir. You can step outside and record. You just cannot record inside the building.
Well, this is still a public building, public property. It's publicly
It's
accessible.
a correctional institution, which is a secure facility.
There's nothing secure about it. I just walked right in.
No.
There's secure areas in this building, of course, sure. And I don't plan on going into any of those secure areas,
You
sir.
cannot record in the building.
But that's not a law, sir. Respectfully, that's not a law. That's just a policy,
What's your
sir.
name?
Oh, my name is Sean, sir.
Sean what?
Just Sean.
Just Sean?
Just Sean.
Fair enough, Sean.
My name's Supervisor McCarron.
And my name is Sean, sir. And your name, sir?
I'm Supervisor Dowling.
Supervisor Dowling. Nice to meet you guys.
And what's your business here today?
Oh, I'm just taking some pictures and video. I'm an independent journalist. I'm working on a story on the Department of Corrections here.
Gotcha. Do you have any kind of paperwork saying you can be on the property for doing that?
Do I have any paperwork?
Yep.
Other than the United States Constitution.
Not just apply here for this. We have our policy here. So I would like you to.
The United States Constitution doesn't apply here?
No. What you're trying to do does not apply to this. You cannot record here. We have a policy that says you can't record in our building.
And that policy trumps the United States Constitution and freedom of press?
Anything. Our policy for this building, you're not allowed to be here in this building recording. We say you can't. So I'm going to ask you to remove yourself from the building, please.
Sir, I'm engaged in a constitutional protected activity. I'm not breaking any laws. I'm not, you're talking about your policy. I'm not breaking any laws. If you'd like, you can call law enforcement.
It's our policy.
If you'd like, you can call law enforcement so they can explain to you the laws.
You can remove yourself.
But that's not against the law,
No.
sir.
You have to call
You're the
law
same guy
enforcement.
that was at the jail, right?
Where?
The women's prison?
Oh, no, I never went there before. No, never. This is the first time I've been to a Delaware correctional facility here.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I wasn't there.
According to this officer, the Constitution does not apply to this correctional facility. So citizens can fund this place but have no access or rights to record and see it. But this officer was about to get in Sean's face.
You have no other business other than being in the building. So I decide to remove you from the building. Then what?
Well, if you physically put your hands on me and remove me from the building, that would be a crime.
Show me what crime, please.
Well, you cannot put your hands on people that
Show me
aren't.
what crime, please.
Yeah, that would be the crime of assault,
Assault?
and that would be assault.
Remove you from the building?
That would be
Escorting
assault.
out from the building, we have a right to say you can leave our building.
No,
correct?
you cannot
No.
assault people
No.
that haven't
Do
breaking
we
a
have the right
law.
to say you can move our building? Do we have the right to say you can leave our building?
No, because this is a public building. Is it closed to the public right
It's
now?
a state. I'm sorry. I like you. If you're taking.
Yeah, I'll take whatever. Sure. What do you got up there that says what? The Bridge Clinic?
Where's that? Sorry.
It's supposed to be inside the lobby.
Oh, you can go
Inside the lobby where I'm not?
No, it said no loitering.
Yeah, I'm not loitering. I have a loitering is when you don't have a purpose. Right, loitering is when you don't have a purpose. You're just standing around not doing anything. No. I'm told you, I'm engaging in a constitutionally protected activity of freedom of press. I'm a journalist working on a story.
Credentials for journalists.
Oh, I'm sure I could produce some credentials for you.
Credentials right now, sir.
Yeah, no, I don't have to give them to you though.
No, you do.
I don't.
You asked me for credentials.
Can you just take a step back, please?
I'm in my building. I'm asking you.
Well, you're
for
in
your
our building.
credentials. I'm asking you for your credentials.
I know. I'm gonna take a step back. I'm gonna de-escalate.
Take a step back. I'm asking for your credentials.
Hey, sir, how are you?
Where's your credentials, sir?
Sir, can I see your credentials? Your credentials is what?
As an officer, this is my credentials.
Okay.
Okay, so
So
where's
you're an
your,
officer with the Department of Corrections.
where's your credentials?
Sir, I don't show credentials unless I'm forced
You said
to.
you were a publicist. You
I
said
am.
you were
No, I'm a journalist,
Well,
right?
journalist, because of your credentials as a journalist, please.
No, you can't.
I can't?
No, sir. You cannot.
Okay.
You cannot see my journal. You cannot see my credentials. You cannot see. You know, I don't need credentials, and you can't see my license. I'm not going to give you my ID. I haven't broken any laws.
It's okay. You wanted
I don't need to. I follow the law, sir.
And what is the law?
That is not the law.
That is our building that we're responsible for our building.
No, that's not the law, sir.
It's our building.
You can make a sign that says no
But it's our
black
building.
people allowed in a building, no white
So you're
people
being
allowed.
racist now, is that what you're saying?
No, I said you
said
could.
that. You said about being black people, you're being racist. That's
I'm
what
saying,
you're
I said black and white
No,
people.
no, you didn't say white. You
I said black.
people.
If you let me
You're being
finish,
racist, but you're being
if you
racist,
let
sir.
me,
Sir, at
no,
this
I'm
point,
not.
You're being racist.
I am
So I
not.
would like you to leave the building.
I'm not being racist at all, sir. I'm giving you an example that if you had a sign that
was a very
said,
poor example.
why? It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It does.
Once again, you're applying things that you want to apply, but you don't know how
If you
to
had a
do it.
sign that said no yellow people, no white people, no black people, no whatever kind of people here.
You're now cleaning up your act.
No, I'm not.
You're really good appreciate it.
No, I'm
Wait,
not.
words. You're really a good wordsmith. But see, I see how you're
If
doing
you
it.
interrupted me before
No,
I could
I didn't
finish,
interrupt you, sir.
you said you're being racist.
No, because you were. But
You're playing a race card.
Sir,
I don't know why.
Sir, but you are. So I have rights too. What you did
Of
was
course.
defended my rights. You stepped over my rights.
No,
You
I
did.
didn't.
Yes, you did, sir.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Not at all.
Yes, you
You're
did.
being very disingenuous.
Sir, you are.
No.
Because we're trying to tell you to remove.
I'm trying to give you an example of why
That was
policies.
a very poor example.
No, it's not. It's a
Sir,
perfectly
so-
aligned example.
So what I would like you to do at this point, we're going back to the words, and we do not feel comfortable with you in our building. We're asking you to leave the building.
Right, and I have business to conduct here. I told you
What
that.
business do you have to conduct?
An open records request for the Department of Corrections is part of my story.
This officer tried to play the race card on Sean when he was just giving an example. He didn't have any excuse to kick him out. Now he was creating drama to make a reason. Wait till you see what this other cop accuses him of.
Excuse me? Sir, there's nothing in my pocket. Okay, there's nothing, there's no weapons in my pocket. You just saw. I just showed you. Sir, you're being a tyrant.
No, I am not being tyrant.
You are being a tyrant. You have no right to. You have no.
So this way he can't do his narrative.
Subject to search over there. We're subject to search.
Well, in this building, you are in this building, you are subject to search.
Where does it say
I'm
that?
asking you to take your hand out of your pocket.
Sir, I just showed you. There's nothing in my pocket other than a cell phone. It's a cell phone. You're not. You shouldn't be scared. You both. You guys are armed. Why are you scared for it? You are scared. You tell. I can't put my hand in my pocket because you're scared.
I'm showing you what the sign says.
Right.
You asked that.
Okay.
So we showed you what the sign says.
Right. I'm not in a restricted area. This is a publicly accessible area.
It says restricted.
I know that.
It says any person or vehicle is probably subject to search.
This. Okay. So violate my rights and search me then. If you think that sign makes you have the authority to violate my rights, my Fourth Amendment right of unreasonable searches and seizures, search me. It is unreasonable because there's nothing you can see. There's nothing on me.
Provide any ID.
I don't. What about my ID would make you feel safe? You're scared, obviously. So what about my ID or credentials would make you feel safe? I mean, you're acting scared by saying get your hands out of your pocket. That's acting scared,
That's
sir.
actually being.
I'm not scared. You guys have weapons. I'm not scared. What would I be scared for? You guys have weapons. I don't. All I have is a camera. That's all I
The
have.
thing about this whole thing is you create a narrative, which I like. You're creating a narrative that fit your. We step away from their window because that's something totally different. So we step away from their conducting business in their window.
I mean, if somebody comes up, I'll move out of the
Once
way.
again, I asked you something polite. You're gonna say,
And did I not just move out of the way?
What you're going to do? If somebody comes up
Because
to you, what?
I will move out of their way.
But I'm asking you now out of their way.
No, but they're not in the. I'm not in anybody's way. Again, you're just trying to feed me directives because that's what you're used to doing. You're used to people following your directives without question. Why do law enforcement officers get so scared when people have their hands in their pockets? Like, do you think everybody's out to hurt you? Is that what it is? Because you're the one that. Do you think everybody's trying to hurt you, officer?
So, you know, the comment that they let the conversation.
I mean, he said, take your hands out of your pockets. Why? A lot of officers I see say that. Why? Why can't a free man or woman have their hands in their pockets?
So keep speaking, please.
I mean, you've been talking more than me.
He just accused him of having a knife in his pocket. Meanwhile, he himself has a gun on him. If police officers are so scared of a man with hands in his pockets, they should not be police officers. The officer then continues to be as petty as possible.
Excuse me, sir.
No, I'm okay. You're okay.
Check your receptions.
You're just,
I'm asking.
you're just walking in
I know,
front
but
of me.
you're not going to go any further near my officer, so I'm making sure you stay pretty far away from my officer.
I know. Just it could be considered,
It could be. I'm asking you to stay close.
disorderly
far from me.
conduct,
You don't
like
need to be in this
walking in front of
conversation,
people.
sir. It's okay.
a little close.
I understand, sir. It's okay.
I'm gonna try walking away from you.
I understand, but you're not able to go into the lobby, but you're okay.
It's a secure lobby. Why would I go in?
No, doesn't matter, sir. Just make sure everything's okay.
Everything's fine.
I understand, but you're not going to be in this conversation. There's no need for you to be there. That's something that has nothing to do with you.
I think he's getting educated. I think that's
maybe
what's
he
going
is,
on.
but right now you don't need to be close to him. That's all.
But you could be close to me.
Because you're getting close to my officer, you made a move to my officer.
This is public area. Being a correctional facility doesn't.
It's a common area. It's not
Right.
a public area. Up front, this is state property. So unless you have official
State
business
property,
here-
public property, it's the same thing.
Unless you have official business here, you do what you like here. You can submit whatever paperwork you like for your investigative, journalism. Cool, great. But speaking to these two gentlemen here, you haven't provided any sort of credentials or paperwork for you to obtain that information.
Right. I don't need to provide credentials to anybody. I don't need to provide my ID. This is the United States of America.
Right.
We are free to enter into publicly accessible areas
But again,
and record law enforcement.
right now-
It's a First Amendment protected activity, sir.
So right now you're trespassing onto state government property.
I'm not.
They are here with us.
And they're currently closed.
And they're currently
Right.
closed. So
So-
therefore, we control the building.
Yeah, right.
So what you're
Well,
doing
you don't. But at the end of the day, and you'll see the federal laws. Okay, that's fine. I'll wait.
We're going back and forth.
All right, great.
There's people
All right,
here
thank you,
that
sir.
are
Thank you. I
victims.
appreciate that.
There
They're
are people-
victims?
yeah,
Okay.
there are
Like
people
you,
here
right?
victims.
Like you.
There are people here who are victims. People here who are
Like you, right?
In the end, the police officers let Sean be, even though the officers from the probation center were salty that he was allowed there. It takes a lot of guts to stand up when you're outnumbered. But this next cop was extremely dramatic when he kicked a black kid out from a library.
What's going on, bud?
Did you speak with her?
Yeah, I did.
Making lots of noise back here and clutter.
She's making noise and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, she's making a complaint against you, saying that you're saying stuff to her, racially stuff. What's that all about?
Racial.
Yeah,
Me, back here minding my own business.
right. But you could be up front, you could be back here. It doesn't matter where you're at. So what's the deal?
Did she leave or no?
No, she's still here. She's upset.
Okay, well, you know what? She left this area, so she's not a problem to me anymore.
Okay. But because she was being loud?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
What
she was just talking to her son, that's all.
Well, this kind of isn't a quiet area. This
It
is
doesn't
more...
matter. It's still a library, it doesn't matter.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
It's bizarre how this evil cop claims a library should not be a quiet area. This officer is already lying barely 10 seconds into the interaction.
Grand reading room. I'm letting you know. I'm telling you what...
Okay, so you're using a tone of voice on me that's really intimidating.
Okay. All right. So what are you saying?
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start recording.
Well, I'm already recording. There's a camera right there.
Okay.
What's in the can there?
None of your business, my friend.
None of my business. You're on library property. I'm asking you what's in the can.
It's something that's not... It's just... Hold on.
I've got it now.
You're already trespassing.
I'm trespassing?
Yeah, it's just trash.
The officer blatantly took the suspect's possessions without consent, a clear disregard for proper protocol. Some officers could benefit from a refresher on the very laws they're meant to uphold.
Just trash.
That's called beer. An open container.
It's trash.
It's an open
It was
container.
wrapped up.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Now we get to give you a ticket for open container.
No, it's trash. I got you on camera, you know. You know that's trash, right?
Right.
It's just trash.
Then why are you keeping trash?
I was outside. I came in here.
Hey, it's McLaughlin. Can you send me a card to the main library?
Greenhouse outside.
All right, it's a mail under arrest for open container.
Okay, it's not an open container. I got you on camera. Come on, let's go.
I got you on camera too.
What the man said is absolutely true, but this officer just wanted to make a big deal out of nothing.
Hey.
You're not going anywhere. You're under
Whoa.
arrest.
Hold on.
You are
hold
under
on.
arrest.
Hold on. You cannot do this.
You're under arrest.
I'm calling
Be
911.
cool. You can call 911.
Can I?
Yeah.
Hold on. Whoa.
Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands
hold on.
behind
I have
your
a
back.
right.
You can put the phone down, put it on speaker. Put the phone down, put it on speaker. Put the phone down, put it on speaker.
Lakewood, Ohio.
Put the phone down, and hey, it's McLaughlin. Time to step it up.
The officer's unnecessary use of force is infuriating. Despite being treated this way, the man should be praised for his calmness.
Put your hand behind your back and quit resisting.
Okay. I'm not resisting.
Quit resisting.
Excuse me, Lakewood? Lakewood? Yes, I am. And you know what? I'm being
Yes.
used against my rights.
Oh, come on. Relax.
Excuse me.
Relax.
Excuse me?
Put your hands behind your back.
Excuse me, I'm being arrested for something clearly
Yes.
unlawful.
Really, you had an open container and you're fighting with me.
No. Excuse me, can you hear me? No, I'm not fighting.
Put your hands behind your back.
I'm not resisting.
Put your hands behind your back and quit around. Okay? Put your hands behind your back, dude. The phone call is over with. Okay?
If I were in this man's shoes, I would go absolutely haywire if I was treated like this by an officer of the law. His patience is commendable, but it is really tested as the officer's actions get increasingly worse with time.
You already called the police.
Yeah, I just talked to them.
Stop resisting, dude.
Excuse me?
Stop resisting. Put your hands behind your back. You'll get a ticket and I'll release you. How's that?
Okay, then am I resisting?
Yes. Put your hand behind your back.
Put my hands behind my back.
Behind your back.
Are you writing me a ticket, yes or no?
Yes, you're getting a ticket.
Okay.
Quit around.
I need to move. Can I grab my phone?
Yes.
Can you hold it upright?
You're walking out.
This is Tomazia leading job. This is exactly what happened.
The man was complying at every point, but this officer dared to say he was resisting. However, his lies won't hold up in the court of law, which will be his downfall.
Okay. You ready?
I got it.
Anything else back there?
Yeah, I gotta tell her to go get the computer. So, hold up, I gotta go grab his can. We can take him out.
This man's the tank damage.
Can you,
What's that? What else can we help you out with? What can we do for you to make your stay any better?
Can you pull out my phone so I can hear exactly what's happening? Oh, it's recording. Press the red button, please.
What is this for? What is that for? I'm done with you. Come on, let's go.
I'm recording here.
There's 2 cameras, 3 cameras. How many more you want?
The man's been mistreated by this officer for no apparent reason. Some officers just need their egos stroked, but this one might be the worst I've seen yet.
You wanted to make a complaint about the lady who made a complaint about you. And then you want to argue with me. Could have been just as simple as like, hey dude, just calm down, relax, have a nice day. But no.
And I did. I caught it on camera. I told you. I said the only thing that I was doing, if you don't mind if I record, the only thing I was doing is I told you. I said,
you were acting like an asshole, and you had an open container of beer.
All those words the officer described the man's behavior with were literally how he himself was acting. His despicable actions are disgusting to watch and make your blood boil.
And obviously you're suffering from the effects of the alcohol because you're mouthing off to the police.
So what I said.
Have a seat.
What I said was.
No, in. You're going to jail.
Okay. What I said was.
Keep talking, but just put your feet. Okay.
In the end, this man was wrongfully arrested. However, the video made its way onto the internet, and it was the one place where these disgraceful cops were shown no mercy. If this cop made you angry, these next cops will enrage you to the highest degree possible.
You wanna get a haircut? Hey,
what is y'all doing? Stop grabbing on me.
On May 30th, 2023, a Karen cashier called the police on an innocent lady. The 2 officers and the cashier, all 3 of them, collectively pressured her, but they could have never guessed how she would handle the intense situation.
Get off. Can you make sure she can
please get out? Yes, we'll figure it out, but just get off the counter. Do you have an ID with you?
These are her receipts. One showing she paid, one showing it was refunded.
Okay.
They're in here, her and whoever she was with were in here stealing drinks. I don't even want them in here. They can leave.
Okay, do you want to give her a ticket for trespassing?
Yeah, she can get trespassing.
I get a ticket for trespassing.
Did you tell her to leave?
Yeah, I did.
And did she refuse to leave?
Yeah, that's it. She sat on the counter, reached back, took the tissues we have sitting back here. Sat on the counter, refused to leave.
These cops just arrived. They haven't even heard the poor woman's part of the story yet, and they're already giving her a ticket for trespassing. Ridiculous.
Hold on, wait. That is complimentary tissue.
No, it's not complimentary.
So
how is not complimentary?
Because co-workers bring it in.
So you wasn't
When I got here, she was sitting on top of the car.
Is y'all gonna ask me what the problem is? Y'all just asking her. Who finna talk to me though?
The woman just grabbed some tissues, and the dumb cashier is making a big deal out of that. This cashier was probably holding a grudge against the lady.
Can I please tell my story? You know you're being recorded, right? That's fine. Okay. That's fine. Okay. You talk your story.
Yeah, she wants to trespass and come take it to the police until we get it.
Who get a ticket?
You gotta stay here, man.
Y'all talk to the Hold on, wait, don't touch me.
One, you're not free to leave. Two, you're gonna listen. Three, you're just gonna shut up.
Okay, hold on, wait, because one, you didn't even ask me what the issue was. You just asked her. You didn't ask me.
You just told me that because that guy dropped his ass, so you know you can come here, grab another one, and
I know. I used to work here. How you finna tell me?
They kept interrupting the lady and were not listening to her at all. These officers should not be in the force. They just believed what they heard first and refused to look into the matter any further.
You know you gotta pay, right?
Yes, I know that. That's what I'm saying. And I told her she don't even like me.
You didn't pay, obviously.
She been not liking me. We been having issues. She just don't like me. What you mean that's not your problem?
So you're gonna get trespassed.
No, trespass. She didn't even ask me to leave. She asked me to leave when y'all got here.
Come back here, you're gonna get arrested.
How if I work here? So what you finna say?
The officer said it's not his problem, but someone ought to remind him of his duties as an officer of the law.
She work here?
They'll fire you then.
Who?
I guess. Well, obviously.
Who gonna fire me?
Right?
I work here. Ain't no firing.
I never seen you here though, but whatever.
I just moved here. Where you gonna see me at?
Just listen. That's all.
Where you going? No, you didn't ask me. You didn't ask me.
Well,
so
you're not the victim here. You're not the victim here.
Who the victim?
Oh, she is in the business.
She absolutely was the victim here. They all just decided to gang up on her and disrespect her for no apparent reason.
So, you're not the victim.
Watch out.
No. Come on. You wanna get a handcuff? Hey, stop it.
Hey, what is y'all doing? Stop grabbing on me.
Oh, really? No, that's gonna be a felony. I saw you smack him in the face. So you smack him. You're gonna get tased. Are you gonna cooperate or what? I'm a smash.
Let me go. I'm leaving. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, what are you grabbing on me? What are y'all doing? For real, I'm just putting y'all.
Stop moving.
Okay, can you let me go?
No, now you're under arrest.
Of course she's gonna smack him. He was touching a woman without her consent. How could he even dare to make such an advance in public?
No, it's a big fat chubby who works out here every Thursday. Hold on.
Let's go.
Hold on. Where's my shoe?
We'll get out right now.
Right
We'll get your feet. Come on.
You got it right on or what?
This way.
Bro, I'm not going in there.
You know what? You're gonna get charged more charges if you keep on playing games like this.
He uses the word charge so casually. He's just threatening her with charges to get his way. Absolutely insane.
You didn't even let me talk to you.
We will talk inside the squad. Come on. Let's go.
Why are we talking in the squad?
Put it on. Because.
You didn't even let me talk to you. Like, what's up? Y'all so bogus just because she called y'all. Like, what? He didn't even ask me.
You don't.
Who finna ask me?
You want yours or mine?
Okay, I need some right here first.
So you're going inside this car?
Hold on, I need to breathe. I need some air. Look, can I just get some air?
Yeah, take a breath. Go ahead.
Okay. Excuse me.
Sadly, they arrested her and took her away in the patrol car. Even though they arrested her, it doesn't change the fact that she schooled them, and their embarrassment is on the internet for everyone to watch and make fun of. Next up, we had another arrogant cop trying to abuse her authority, but she got absolutely dominated by the civilian. She should have never chosen to mess with her.
That's fine, but you're still going to have to provide your documentation because you're going to be arrested for it.
On November 21st, 2023, Michelle Allen Gregory attended a New Haven board meeting in Oswego, New York. She made a simple inquiry, but the response she received from Town Supervisor Dan Barney will leave you stunned.
What was the first? $6,396 is what we budgeted. We're gonna 96? Yep, $6,396. And we're gonna increase it to $8,396.
And since decisions were made during the public hearing, there will be.
Excuse me.
I will second
that, Mary. Excuse me. She's out. She's gone. That's the second time. She's out. Take her out
I
right
get
now.
3 warnings. I get a second warning.
No, you don't get. Out. Go.
I'm not leaving.
gonna have to leave. Meeting is over. We gotta go.
What's the point of a meeting if you can't ask questions and discuss? It's a public conference, not a dictatorship.
I understand what you're saying, sir. I will need to be physically removed. And I understand what you're saying.
No, you have to go. I don't want to physically remove you. You have to go.
I will leave as
The
soon as the meeting is
supervisor
over.
asked you to leave. You have to leave.
Hello.
Hey, Supervisor Barney. Hi, sir. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
We had a situation where we had a person disrupted our meeting. I issued a warning. Okay. And upon the second incident, asked her to leave. She refused to leave. No physical altercation or anything like that occurred. Our security officer here walked over and asked her to please leave. She refused several times. So we want her out. Now, she's got some friends here that are refusing to leave too. We're done with our meeting.
The town supervisor thinks he can exercise authority wherever he wants, but he's about to be put back in his place.
You leaving, ma'am?
Yeah, I was told I had to wait because the police were being called on me.
Okay, cool. All right, so you have friends with you too? Who's your friends? You guys? Okay, all right. Well, let's just have you guys
He
exit.
told me I had to leave a public meeting, and then he said he called the cops, so I was waiting for the police to come so I would not be physically removed.
Shush. I got you. So,
because I'm allowed to speak at a public meeting.
Okay.
The woman was confident in what she knew, and she wasn't just going to stand there and be run over.
do you have your ID on you?
I do, and I don't have to provide it. It's a Fourth Amendment right.
No, you are being investigated, so yes, you do have to identify yourself.
How can you enforce the law if you don't even know it in the first place? These officers get increasingly insufferable with each move they make.
I know my rights.
Hold on one
You
second.
obviously don't.
Deputy Greger would like to speak to you.
Okay. No, she wants a supervisor, so.
Actually, we have a lady here that would love to speak to you. Hold on one second.
No, I'm requesting a supervisor be present.
The cops did not answer the most basic questions, which just goes to show how oblivious and dishonest they are.
For what am I being investigated?
I'm sorry, did you not just say?
Can I
governmental?
can I see what he's trying to charge me for?
So what's going on is a long, drawn-out interruption that's gone on over about 2.5 years, okay?
For
Every
requesting public
meeting.
documents, which is for an open meeting law.
Every meeting. But if you speak out during a public meeting, you get a warning. And if you speak out again, we can ask you to remove yourself. And that's what we did tonight. We're very polite. There's no physical, nothing. She, Herb didn't grab onto her, nothing like that.
I am a member of the press.
So, at any rate,
It's not irrelevant. That's
Not to
open
me.
government and freedom
It's
of
not to
information
me, because
law.
right now you're committing a violation with me.
Can I see what he's trying to
No,
charge
I'm asking
me?
you for your identification.
I don't have to provide it unless I'm being
investigated.
reasonably.
Say it with.
The cops ran out of luck that day because Miss Allen knew every right she had. She wasn't going to let herself be disrespected by these stupid and illiterate officials.
Investigated.
No, it's not just investigation.
Yes, it is. It's
No, ma'am, it's
investigation.
not.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
100% it
We'll
is.
debate that in court then.
That's fine, but you're still going to have to provide your documentation because you're going to be arrested for it.
Okay.
So that's.
For what am I being?
I'm not going to keep saying the same
Can
thing
I
over and over
please
again.
see the statute that he's trying to quote to me? The document that he's handing me.
I don't
That
even
he's
know what
quoting
it
to me. Can I please see that?
That's going to be separate from what I'm charging
Can
you with.
I please see what he is?
Did you see him going in there trying to get it? But I'm telling you, now you're going to have 2 different charges for it.
You can charge me with whatever you think you should.
Okay?
Okay.
All set.
So these are local policies. These are local rules of decorum, which are not a statute. These are not a legal statute.
I don't think he said that this was a statute. These are just other documents he had in his hand that he's explaining.
What is the legal statute for this? This is a local policy.
You're looking for the statute of obstructing governmental administration.
Whatever he's accusing me of, I would like to see that statute.
The authority falls within the town board. We have the authority to make local laws.
Yeah, I'm not-
We made one earlier
This is not a
year.
local law.
That's
This is
it.
policy.
She
I'm not
violated
questioning
it.
that.
We're asking you to do it.
I'm not questioning it, to be
This
honest
is a
with you.
policy.
So,
Mr. Barney and the officer deluded themselves into thinking they were in the right here, but they didn't know what was coming for them.
Asking for the statute of what
I
you're
don't
saying
have
it's
the
obstruction of
statute.
justice,
You
correct?
know what? You got your phone?
Can I ask? Can you?
I'm going to have you look it up because I don't have it on me.
what statute am I being arrested
Obstructing
for? Obstructing
governmental administration.
Can I see that statute?
Yes. Do you want to pull up your phone?
I would rather not. I think that
Well,
you're
there you go.
supposed to provide that.
No,
Do you have a phone?
I do, but I don't use it for work use. Okay, because then it gets subpoenaed, and I don't want that.
Okay.
But it's free information that everyone has on the internet.
Okay.
Okay. Otherwise,
Super.
you know, you'll have to wait until we process the arrest.
Okay. Such a waste of money.
It's kind of a waste of time. All you have to do is
It is.
give us your ID.
I don't have to give you that because I have not reasonably committed a crime. There is no reasonable suspicion that I have committed a crime.
We ask for people's identification just simply if they need to be checked on, simply if we are just encountering them.
I don't wish to waive my Fourth Amendment right for that.
Okay.
Witnessing these cops having difficulty crafting their lies and slipping up repeatedly is extremely amusing.
Yes,
If these two don't leave, it will be trespassing.
our meeting's over. It was over at 7:20.
And I'm being detained for what? And you're expecting them to leave me? No, it's not going to happen. And you're going to arrest them both for trespassing
Yeah, they'll
for
have
staying here
trespass
with
as
me?
well. Yeah, they will.
Okay, well, you can write me a citation and then I'll show up wherever I need to show up.
Okay, we will.
But we'll step outside and we're all leaving together.
You're going to be coming back with us.
No, I'm not.
How do you figure? So you have identification then?
I do.
Okay, can we have that, please?
Nope.
Everyone's going to do the same thing then.
I'm not going to be investigated. What am I being investigated
Trespassing.
This is a public building.
Doesn't matter. He
We're
has the
closed.
authority to leave.
Well, we're
ask
going
him to
to
leave.
that means arrest the three of us now, so you need to call some other attorneys. This is getting bad. It's going Okay. All right, well, as long as everybody's aware, I'll let you guys know when I get booked. Okay, we'll sue them. All right, bye.
Matters were intensifying. The cops might have thought they'd get their way, but they would be absolutely wrong.
Arrest me then.
No, you want to speak to a supervisor, so we're going to have him
Oh,
come over.
wait. Wait.
You stand here. Do you have like any documentation for like the past couple of meetings, or like anything that notes about any
Yeah,
of
we
these
got-
instances
there's our
or
town
trespass
clerk right
orders or
there.
anything like
Yeah.
that? Do you have a trespass order you can issue?
A what?
A trespass order?
A trespass order?
Yeah, or anything for them?
I know it's not addressed in this rules of decorum. That'd be a good question for your supervisor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey,
We do lock the doors when we leave, so yeah.
we got 3 refusing to identify themselves. So we'll probably need a statement from you about everything, so.
The officers were hell-bent on getting Miss Allen into their custody, but she was as stiff as a rock.
There's 2 sheriffs here, and they're bringing more officers here to potentially place me under arrest for speaking out during the meeting, obstruction of something in violation of their town policies. Because they came out of executive session, and I told them that they shouldn't do it, that there needed to be minutes publicly available, because they came out of the executive session and said no decisions were made, but then voted on stuff that happened in executive session, and I said, hey, you need to have minutes available, and then someone called the cops on me to have me removed. So if I get booked, I'll give you a call, bail me out, okay? I'm gonna do this, because this is wrong. All right, I love you. Yeah. 2 other people for trespassing.
So we're waiting for Pretori to get here because she wants to speak with a supervisor. But these 3 are refusing to identify themselves and refusing to leave.
Which 3?
These 3.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
She's being detained. Okay. She's
But you're refusing to leave because you won't leave
I'm not
her.
leaving her
There
by
you go.
herself.
All right,
I want
same
her
thing.
to be safe.
Same thing.
Okay.
You're refusing to leave.
She could have left.
No, I was told I was detained. She was told she had to stay.
Miss Allen was finally arrested, and the situation did not look good for her.
What I'm going to have you do is we have a nice young lady, deputy. She's going to take a statement from you.
Okay.
Make sure you mention the past that happened, the past bad experience, okay?
Yep.
Then obviously tonight you're having a meeting, what you did to create disturbance.
Twice.
You politely asked her to leave, she didn't, you asked her again, and she's trying to create chaos.
Yep.
Okay? We're going to try.
She's signed in probably every single time she's been here under a false name. She doesn't need to give her real name.
She has to give her real name tonight, or if she's not get processed and she can sit in the cell till she can come up with who she really is and we can prove that's who she is. At this point, that's why I wanted to have her ID,
The other two. What do we want to do with them? We asked them to leave.
And they wouldn't.
You asked them to leave?
Yeah.
Oh,
asked
yeah.
them to leave.
They were asked.
But they would not leave because they didn't feel like she was going to be safe.
Right.
And then they wouldn't identify themselves as well.
Well, when Herb first brought them out of the meeting room, none of them were. They all said no. We're all.
And you
staying.
told them it was time to leave.
Yeah,
meeting's over with.
Meeting's over.
You told them it's time to leave. They refused to leave. Yeah, they'll get charged for trespassing.
Were they also refusing to allow her friends to leave? These police officers were becoming more cruel by the second.
I'm gonna hook them up.
All right. Who are my other ladies?
That one there on the phone.
Okay.
This one here.
And this one here?
This one here, yeah.
So right now, because they asked you to leave and you refused to, you're going to be arrested also for trespass.
We asked everyone.
I asked her to leave.
Okay.
I asked her to leave, and she would not leave. And then she wouldn't identify herself.
You didn't ask me who I was.
I absolutely did.
You didn't ask me. You asked Michelle.
I asked both of you.
I did not hear you. You didn't look at me. I did not hear you.
Okay. Do you have identification?
All we want to do is
Yes, I
conduct our
do.
meetings in an orderly manner. I don't have a problem with Linda Williams, unless you.
Let her go. That's fine.
Whatever you want to do. I don't really care.
She's the only one that actually just started to actually cooperate.
Police that abuse their power have a common enemy: citizens that are educated on the law. All corrupt officers fear the day they bump into one of them.
You sit there and say it's confidential, and it's not. You're just making it up to protect your officers, and it's shameful. You should be. You're shameful.
Have you ever seen everyday citizens stand up and outsmart those who abuse their power? Today, we'll be looking at instances where people turn the tables on corrupt cops, embarrassing them, exposing their misconduct, and holding them accountable. In 2021, LAPD officer Jose Rivera, while off duty, would drive around late at night harassing an individual verbally, William Good. The man being harassed then filed a complaint against the officer, whose identity he wasn't even aware of at the time. The man then went to the Hollywood station, where he tried to identify the officer who was messing with him. But over there, he ran into a couple of other cops who were no better than Jose.
I can't give you that information.
Why can't you?
I can't.
Why? I mean, you tell me why. You have to tell me a reason. Is there a specific code?
Because I can't.
I mean, but tell me why. I mean, that's something that can be arbitrary. It means something because you just don't feel like doing it.
No, but
Okay, so tell me why. You say you can't. Why? Is there something written that says you can't?
okay, so this way I can't give it to you.
Is there something written down that says you can't?
These are the conditions.
I want you to write it down and tell me exactly the reason why you can't. I mean, you have to give me an explanation. You can't just say, I can't. Well, why?
I'm giving you guidance here.
The guidance isn't helping. You told me to go to OIG. You don't even know what the function is of OIG. I mean, seriously. You're a sergeant. You don't even understand the function.
He was just protecting his officer without any justifiable reason. He doesn't even care for the citizen and his well-being.
So, I mean, this is basic stuff. So you tell me to go to OIG. Now you're saying you can't. Why? Why can't you?
I'm telling you.
I know you're telling me. I'm asking you, why can't you? You can say you can't. Listen, you're a sergeant. You can. Why? Martinez, why?
Because I can't.
Why? Who said you can't?
Because it's confidential, sir. These investigations are...
I didn't ask for a confidential. A person harassed me on the street, a private individual, again, a private citizen, not in uniform, private citizen.
So he was a private citizen.
Did it against me, a private citizen.
Correct.
And you people, the LAPD, became aware. If this was any other situation, if this person was not an LAPD officer, if this was a person that lived across the street, you'd give that information to the complainant.
The supervisor had no real answers, and he just seemed hell-bent on making an embarrassment out of himself.
Who wants to file both a crime report and also get a restraining order? I want to file a restraining order. You're trying to tell me I'm not allowed to get that information. I have an officer that is repeatedly going out here harassing you. And I have on tape, and your own department says, yeah, he did it. And I'm not allowed to know who he is so I can get a restraining order against said off-duty officer? And if so, why? I mean, you gotta give me something. This is gonna play out really well. This is gonna look really nice, so tell me why.
It'll look nice, sir.
Tell me why. I mean, I'm
not gonna argue with you. We're going in circles here.
You're just not answering. Why?
I did answer you, because I can't. That's my final
I have an
answer.
off-duty officer who's out here harassing. Michael Moore says he's deeply embarrassed by this officer, but I can't know the officer's name. I can walk out here right now, this guy's going to keep on harassing me. I have him on tape, and you say I can't tell you who he is. This is the LAPD for you. You proud of this, Martinez? You proud of this for him? You proud of this? You proud of this? I mean, the way you protect these officers and the way you sit there and say it's confidential, and it's not. You're just making it up to protect your officers, and it's shameful. You should be. You're shameful.
I'm not arguing with you.
You don't argue. There isn't an argument. It's shameful.
Is there
You should be
anything else,
ashamed.
anything else I can
And
help you with, sir?
I think we're going to have to make sure your family's ashamed.
William Good, the victim, then contacted the department chief to try to get him to reveal the evil officer's identity. Still, he refused to speak as expected and just referred to him to the Internal Affairs captain, Captain Shaw, who also wasn't willing to speak about the matter. Months later, William spotted a truck resembling that of the officer who harassed him. However, the officer fled to avoid being identified, but William captured his license plate on camera. He identified the officer as Jose Rivera Jr. A year later, William received a complaint disposition form confirming that the complaint was sustained, though the officer's name still wasn't disclosed. Jose Rivera was eventually given a 5-day suspension. And that's all for today. If you liked the video, subscribe so you don't miss out on the next upload. Thanks for watching.